What's up, guys? GK here with Corbin's Archery. The collaboration we've been waiting for has finally happened. Mathews and Ultraview has collabed and have made a awesome sight. Let's dive right into it. So I don't know what they're calling this sight. Ultraview bridge lock, Mathews slider, I don't know. But it is a Mathews edition and their version of the UV slider. I have it here in my hand. A lot of similarities to the slider, a lot of differences as well. Let's dive into some of the key features and take a look at this sight. So, right out of the box, you're going to get your sight bar, which is adaptable to the bridge lock technology. You'll get that in the box there. You'll also get your sight cartridge and housing of your choosing with your dial. This one here is the 5-pin horizontal, as you can tell. And it'll be assembled just like the slider was. You'll lift up on your locking knob there, and then your little gray knob here that kind of catches you at the bottom of your rail. You'll slide that, here click, rover it up, I'm ready to go. So there is the sight. Let's take a look at some of the key features of this sight here. So awesome bridge lock bar there with a clearly marked third axis lock screw that you can open up, adjust your third axis, lock it back down. You also have a first and second axis screw there to where I can loosen that up and then change my first and second axis, lock it back down, and I'm good to go. So on your horizontal pin sights, Mathews is offering a 3-pin horizontal and a 5-pin horizontal. I have the 5-pin in my hand, but on all horizontal pin sights that they've made like this, you are going to use your middle fixed pin, which is going to be green. It's going to be a green fiber. Your middle fixed pin, that's going to be the pin that you sight in with. That's the pin you're going to get your sight tape with and dial in because it's fixed. It won't move. You can move your other ones later, but always remember when you're sighting in this style sight, use your fixed middle pin, the green one on your horizontal. When you're using your 3-pin vertical that they also make, you're going to use your top pin, top green fiber. So they're also going to have single pin and single pin with 2 reticle cartridges available at the beginning of the year, so you can switch out these cartridges, change up your sight housing, and go from there. The kicker, this is one pricey sight. You're looking at $700 retail for this sight here. It's going to have all the bells and whistles. It's going to have a light. It's going to have a dial, toolless micro adjust, toolless elevation change, carrying case, your sight tapes, the whole 9 yards. Pricey, yes, but some really cool features. Well-made construction, ergonomically made to fit the bridge lock the best. Not a super long bar. That way they have balanced these bows to run it in. They found the perfect balance point. Again, if you like it a little bit longer, you might have to look elsewhere because it's only going to come with this bar for now with this length. So something to keep in mind. But let's kind of dive in. I've already touched on the axes. Thank you very, very much for adding a 0 stop. There is a 0 stop on this sight. The UV slider did not have one, and I wish it would have, but they made one so simple. Just put a dead stop on there. That way I know when I'm back at my home position. I know a lot of customers that wanted that, especially if you weren't blessed with a lot of speed or a lot of draw length. You rarely had your bow and your tape at the very, very top where it like kind of automatically 0 stopped for you. Most of the time, guys were about right in there, and they would have to physically watch that tape as they rovered back up to 20 so they didn't go past it. But now you have an adjustable 0 stop, so you can get there, know you're at your home base, and you're good to go. So glad they did that. Let's check out the cartridge, and let's check out all the other key features. So in my hand, 5-pin horizontal. I'm going to loosen the side screw here. Loosen it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to take it all the way out, but then I can remove my cartridge and I can throw on a different cartridge if I want. Now let's say you're running, you're in a state hunting and they don't allow lights. This does come with a light. As you can tell, I just turned it on. It's kind of hard to see with this camera, but it's right up here. It is on. And there's different dimness and settings. It will turn off. You can hold it to turn it off, or it'll flash a little bit, let you know you're at your lowest setting there. So you're in a state, you can't run a light. Here's what you got to do. You can take your scope ring off, and then you're going to work your light out. It is in there very, very good, so it's not going to just pop out, which is a good sign. Just going to kind of work it out, and voila, my sight is off. Another cool feature, no batteries in the sight, you guys. All you gotta do is charge it. Little charging port there. Your charger comes with your sight tape and the package with your sight there and all your other spare accessories and items. You're good there. Now, you're gonna take your other scope ring, which does not mount if the light is on there. You're going to install it correctly, put it on the right side. And these will just they're kind of plasticky, but they will snap in there once you get them lined up correctly. Come on. There we go. Just kind of got to get one started. There we go. So now I'm in there, and I got the cartridge I want for my hunt. I'm going to screw this back on. I'm not going to over tighten, you guys. Boom. I'm good to go. Ready to rock and roll. Now, let's talk about sighting this in. Again, horizontal pins, middle fixed pin, green fiber. So, with this sight, I'm going to focus on that middle green pin. I'm going to shoot it at 20. If I'm not at 20, I will make my elevation adjustment till I'm at 20. And what I typically do is I make a mark of where my indicator was pointing. I'll make that mark there. I'm good at 20. Now, using that same green middle pin, I'm going to rover it out, go shoot it at 60. So using the same middle pin. Well, let's ignore everything else. Let's just focus on the middle. Let's say I've shot a lot. Take your time, shoot over multiple days, dial in your setup, get comfortable with your bow. I rarely go out one day, get a sight tape, and I'm done. I like to check it over multiple days. But let's say you're shooting good, you're stacking them at 60. I'll make another gray mark right here. And then what I will do is take this rail off that I have my 2 gray Sharpie marks, and I will compare them to the tapes that they send it. They're kind of blocked by the guide here. You can see them up top. Multiple pages of tapes, right-handed, left-handed. I'll compare those lines, find the one that matches up, and I will stick that down. But you're not done. Now that my tape is stuck down there, I then have to go in and sight these pins in, but we have to set up the scope correctly. So, that middle pin, if you're running the 5-pin horizontal setup, is going to be your 40-yard pin in most cases. So what I'm going to do is once I have my sight tape on there and I know it's correct, I'm then going to rover that to where that indicator is pointing at 40 yards. And then I'll move my zero stop, shut it down there, and then I'll go in at the end and I'll move each individual pin fiber. So I'll sight in my top one at 20, my next one at 30. I don't have to worry about my 40 because it's there. And then 50, 60, and I'm good to go. Now that indicator is going to be your middle pin on the inside there. So whenever you rover, you're rovering your middle pin. So let's say you want to rover it out to 60. I'll rover that. My middle pin will now be at 60. But if you want to use the bottom pin to get the most clearance out of your sight and everything else, you have another indicator on the back side of that sight. We just have to make sure that that's lined up starting at 60 since we're using our 60 pin as that next indicator on the outside of the scope, if that makes sense. So it's hard to do without a tape on the bow, but let's imagine that I'm set, 20 through 60 is dialed in. My green indicator on the inside is pointing at 40. I will lay another tape on the back side with that other indicator pointing at 60. So whenever I rover out, let's say my middle pin inside indicator is now at 80 yards. That would make my outside, which is normally my 60 pin if I'm in the home position, that would make it now, I don't know, probably 90 to 95 yards just based on the elevation and the speed and everything else. So, multiple options. You can kind of set this up the way you want. Don't forget to move that zero stop back in. But super clean, well-made sight. I'm curious about the sight housing, how durable it really is. It's kind of plasticky, but the rest of the bar and everything else seems really, really good. Curious to see how the sight holds up. I'm going to put it through the ropes, but super clean sight. The Ultraview and Mathews bridge lock collaboration is here. They have a cool dialed shape. It's kind of like the Mathews. I don't know if I can get it. You can see that wheel. It's kind of like the Mathews dampeners that you see on the bottom of the bow. So pretty cool. You don't have to have any tools to set elevation or windage. Still your micro adjust knobs there. Again, available in 3-pin horizontal, 5-pin horizontal, 3-pin vertical, and single pin vertical, and single pin with 2 reticles. Coming soon, we'll have those cartridges available as well. But this has been the Mathews and Ultraview bridge lock slider collaboration sight. Come check these out. We'll have them in the shop. We're going to have a bunch of different configurations available both in right-handed and left-handed. But everything you see here that I just showed you will come in the box. Again, price of $700, a little bit pricey, but you're getting a kind of do it all in one sight. So something to think about. Come check them out. Really well made, super lightweight, and hard to go wrong with super lightweight and well made. So y'all come check them out. Other videos, go look them up. We got the bow reviews. We have other stuff dropping, but the Mathews and Ultraview collab is here, and let's just say it did not disappoint. So thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. And if y'all have any questions, just let us know, and y'all have a great day. Thanks, guys.